Assalamualaikum and good morning. I beg to Professor Dr. Muhammad Faiz Liu bin Abdullah and my fellow friends in the Engineering Society subject. Today, our group would like to share about our group project, which is we interviewed a boss of a company called Metozen Engineering Sdn Bhd. But before we start with our presentation, I would like to share about our group members. So, this is the list of our group members. My name is Muhammad Firdaus bin Muslan and my group member is Iskandar Nakiuddin bin Muhammad Hisham, Nur Izwana binti Abdul Jalil, Nur Aiza Hayani Muhammad Nizam, Nurul Fatihah binti Hanzah, and Nur Syed Hatul Natasha binti Saha. For the introduction, the founder of the Metozen Engineering Sdn Bhd is Encik Zuhairi bin Masri at Samsuri. The Metozen Engineering Sdn Bhd started in 1993 until now. The main production of Metozen Engineering Sdn Bhd is truck cooling and insulated body production system. For your information, the Metozen Engineering Sdn Bhd is located in the center of Nusajaya, Johor Bahru. Next, before we start with the question we asked Encik Zuhairi during the interview, we would like to share a short video of Encik Zuhairi and us during the interview session. Please enjoy the video.
Okay, baik. Nama saya Zuhairi bin Masri. Okay. Saya bermula kalau nak cerita pasal sekolah rendah tu, asal saya di Batu Pahat juga. Batu Pahat di sebuah kampung tak jauh dengan parit radio masuk dalam tu. Kalau pernah explore ke dalam tu, sampailah ke satu kampung namanya Kampung Parit Jambi. Okay. Saya besar kat situ. Kemudian saya besar kat situ, bersekolah rendah dekat situ, dan tingkatan 1 saya sekolah menengah di Yongping. Tahu Yongping kat mana? Tak jauh lah dengan Yongping. Kemudian saya tingkatan 4 saya bersekolah di Sekolah Teknik Johor Bahru, SMT Johor Bahru, tingkatan 5 dan tingkatan 6. Seterusnya saya lanjutkan pelajaran dekat UTM. Okay. Itulah sedikit kalau background tentang education lah. Sebab saya up to setakat UTM sekolah, degree, dan kemudiannya saya terus bekerja. Saya tak teruskan pengajian saya lagi. Okay. Dan mula-mula kerjaya saya adalah saya bekerja dalam bahagian engineering juga untuk more on the bus and coaches, masa tu pembinaan badan bas dan juga dia punya sistem penunjukan. Okay. 3 tahun saya bekerja di satu syarikat di Johor Bahru. Kemudian saya berhijrah kerja ke Singapura bermula daripada tahun 1997 sehingga tahun 2005. Dan dia punya feel pun lebih kurang sama juga. Okay. Bahagian engineering untuk setahun saya buat untuk bus and coaches. Kemudian saya berubah pada bidang sistem penyejukan yang sepenuhnya. Okay. Jadi memang kesemua yang saya terlibat tu adalah bidang engineering dan technical. Okay. Daripada mechanical, electrical dan seterusnya adalah serba sedikit tentang elektronik lah. Kalau yang melibatkan sistem kontrol untuk sesuatu sistem penyejukan tu, yang melibatkan dia punya PC card dan sebagainya tu, memanglah dia akan terlibat dengan. Tapi basically benda tu adalah engineering. Bila yang sebut engineering ni adalah seorang jurutera ataupun engineer, dan benda yang dia lakukan rutin dia, tak tahulah perangai dia pun mungkin sama juga. Itu jugalah orang dia. Jadi basically itulah yang saya lalui, dan juga dalam tempoh yang tempoh selama lebih kurang hampir 30 tahun tu, memang banyak perkara-perkara yang cabaran yang kena lalui lah. Okay. Macam awak mungkin tak, awak cuma dapat bayangkan, awak cuma dengar cerita, okay, selepas awak graduate sebagai seorang jurutera, sebagai seorang engineer, awak cuma bayangkan dan awak cuma dengar serba sedikit, ataupun ada juga lah, kalau mungkin ada keluarga ke ataupun abang ke ataupun kakak ke yang sebelum ni telah berada dalam bidang ni, of course awak akan tahulah kan. Tapi ada interruption ni. Okay. Tapi apa-apa pun benda tu semua adalah perkara yang sebagai seorang engineer kena lalui. Okey, jadi itulah sedikit tentang saya. Jadi kalau ada soalan apa, saya lebih suka kalau macam two-way punya interview. Maknanya kalau dalam saya bercakap, okey, ada perkara yang awak perlu penerangan yang lebih jelas, yang lebih teliti, then awak just interrupt je. Boleh?
Boleh, Encik.
Okey, baik. Terima kasih.
Okay, sekarang ni the next part of our presentation is about the question that we asked Encik Zuhairi during the interview. The first question is, why did you go to engineering? Encik Zuhairi said that he goes to engineering because he likes to explore more about machine. He also stated that he likes to assemble and disassemble the machine that he explore, just to know what is inside the machine. In addition, he also said that he go to engineering not just to make income for himself, but he want to learn something for what he can do in the industries in Malaysia. During the interview on this question, Encik Zuhairi give us an opinion. He said that as an engineer, they need to know more about managing skill and not only able to do only one job.
Assalamualaikum, my name is Nur Syaratu Natasha, and for this question, how did you set up your own company? According to Encik Zuhairi, he was working in Singapore for 10 years, and after 10 years, he decided to resign and return to Malaysia. As he returned, he got the opportunity to set up his own company and becoming a director of his own company until now. So in this case, the experience, the attitude and discipline is very important during work. You have to show a good performance during work and need to put some effort. In order to be successful, you need to be hardworking too. It's all about the attitude. If you're doing good, you get a better performance and a better achievement during works. And if vice versa, if you show that you have a bad attitude, bad performance and discipline during work, then you can manage to set up your own company.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Fatihah binti Hamzah. So I'm going to explain a little bit about the answer and analysis for the last question that we asked during the interview, which was, how does engineering school being affected by COVID-19? According to the interviewee Encik Zuhairi, as we are in the midst of this pandemic, there are lots of industries are being affected by COVID-19, and engineering is not an exception. So most industries have been struggling to continue their business, to continue their production, which they would only be able to continue 50% of your production, 30% of their production, and what much more worse are some of the industries can only be shutting down their business after what has happening during the whole year of 2020 due to the COVID-19. So as the COVID-19 cases are rising in Malaysia, the job opportunities would also be limited due to the constraint movements to avoid the outbreak of the virus. Thus, most industries will eventually reduce the amount of their workers and make it even harder for the fresh graduates to obtain job. So as the job opportunities are limited, the tendency of most industries will reduce the salary rate for most fresh graduates are becoming increased, and this would lead to the competition between the fresh graduates to obtain a job during this pandemic. Hence, that's why it is crucial for every student, especially the engineering students, to gain new skills or maybe to strengthen their soft skills and hard skills, especially in the problem thinking, critical thinking, which would lead to these industries to take you as their employee. Last but not least is every fresh graduates have to have self-improving yourself, so that these recruiters from the industry will seek the capability of helping the company from fresh graduates, as it is crucial for them to value people with no experience, especially in engineering scope. So it is important for every fresh graduate to have the potential and the willingness to learn new things, so that they would be hired for the companies in the industries, especially during this pandemic. And you can prepare yourself for a better future during this pandemic, after the end of the pandemic, and forever. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi to everyone. My name is Ariza and I will continue to present the next question, which is how has engineering changed over the past years and how do you see it changing in the future after the pandemic of COVID-19? So according to Encik Suhairi, engineering sector is not something that is static, means that it can always changing in time. One of the closest examples that we can see and relate is the development of mobile phones throughout these years. These changes are a complement to the future progress of the internet, technology and multimedia. Therefore, Encik Suhairi highlighted that, also suggested that engineering students or graduates need to have the innovative and creative thinking skills, as well as develop new skills or sharpen our useful skills that can lead to something that is needed to comply with the criteria and needs of the consumers in the future. Lastly, Encik Suhairi concluded that even after the pandemic of COVID-19, engineering sector can still relevant as more changes and development can be done in the future.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I am Iskandar Nikuddin bin Muhammad Hisham. So I will explain about the question about how do you balance the social and the technical aspect of engineering in your work. So basically this question we asked to the Chief Suhairi. So he explained is the issue concern the social and technology aspect of engineering at work. He's so responsive and is giving a good answer. He told us that the production of workplace full of employees who are satisfied with their work balance is vital for the overall well-being and competitiveness of the project and the organization. So Encik Zahiri was very concerned about the balance of life. He's just taking great care of the balance of life entire his staff, either his staff or himself. He also said that there are a lot of ways to improve work-life balance when you experience stress. Among Encik Zahiri tell us that we always need to unplug ourselves out of work. That means we need to know when we need to work and when we need to stop working. Example, if our working hours are 8 a.m. to 5 a.m., so then we need to stop working and begin working the next day because we are working and not living for work. Okay, so for the next slide, please. Okay, I asked the question about how do you describe your social and environmental goals in engineering. So basically, engineering asks what social community the engineer are seeking to satisfy. Is it a family, a tribe, or a corporation, or municipality, or a region, or a global supranational entity? It is clear that different groups have different technological needs and expectations, and that others are not satisfied if in engineering certified those group. He said it was a major determinant of how well engineering meets its social needs. Apart from that, he told us that the different needs of the social group are that engineering and technology can be expected to address education, economic, environmental health, public service, social and security. It must be emphasized that in order to satisfy this need, engineering cannot be shackled with short range and limited technical application. Minimization of our biological condition must be possible. Alright, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Izwani Binti Al-Jani. Okay, today I want to present about my question and answer. Okay, my question is, as an engineer and director, how do you handle the commitment based on time and time division? Okay, as human beings, we must have employee must have their own plan for their future. As an employee, they have to give full commitment and focus to their career. Planning wisely the tasks that must have to be done on each day. Must have great discipline in ourselves to be a good employee. And lastly, have to finish the task and work on time. Okay, my answer analysis for my question is, as Encik Zuhairi said during the interview sessions, to be a good employee, we must have our own plan for the future. This will ensure that we know our target that must be achieved in our life. Professionalism is the key qualities of the good employee. Professional is the person that knowledgeable, calm in distress, can interact without being reactive, with top individuals, and have responsibility about their act to peer on all levels. Moreover, we have to discipline on give full commitment and focus on our career to produce a good work and a good task that had been assigned to us. The disciplines to be on schedule is vital to an employee each time, and full tasks are subject to deadline. Discipline calls for emphasis, initiative, and leadership. Apart from that, we must plan our time wisely to ensure we finish our work on time. Lastly, to be a good and a great employee, we must have responsibility, curiosity, and good communication and respect between each other.
The last part of our group presentation is to conclude all the new things, information and advices that we got from interviewing Encik Zuhairi. As future engineer, we would have to improve ourselves by gaining new skills and able to explore more in this engineering profession. Even though there might be some difficulties that would be faced by fresh graduates, especially in the midst of COVID-19 pandemic, engineering practice is vital for every student to understand every aspect that shape early engineers' decision. That's all from our group. Thank you for lending your ears, and we wishing you a bright and colorful future.